Leaders with that ball. Looking for an opening. 1-0 here in the first quarter. Pass off Paper City Oaks, trying to penetrate in, looking for a way to find an opening into that goal. And the shot clock has expired. That'll be a turnover. Ah, how are you? Ball turned over. Paper City Oaks bringing this out. Pass right at the center line from Howard over to Cam Simpson. Simpson tries dumping that ball in. I'm going to call this a puck all the time. So what happens when you play inside an ice arena. Paper City Oaks looking for an opening there to get a shot off. Not able to. Ball gets turned over. Brought back the other way. Hustling down with it. There's Montana Price. Montana is a hard hit. Spirit still with this ball. Paper City Oaks are bringing this ball out now from their end. Pass over the center line. Bring this into the O zone. Leibowitz with this. Push this over onto his left side to Severese. Severese with the shot. Rebound goes up. Hits the ceiling. That'll be Spirit's ball. Spirit's breaking this ball out the other way. Andrew Jameson. Jameson, a little soft pass to Edwards. Edwards dancing this ball in. Pass over shot. Save made. Rebound grabbed by the Spirit. Back behind the net. Out in front. Edwards trying to pick this ball up. There's a shot and a goal. That goal looks like it was scored by number 66, Kobe Cree, assisted by number 2, Oris Edwards. Cree from Edwards. Face off. Battle for it. Hawkeye trying to push this ball back. Scooped up off the cloth by Claw. Ball short pass over to Sunday. Sunday brings this ball into the corner. Sunday looking for somebody to pass this over to. Pass across, out in front, shot, save and made. Rebound comes all the way back. That's going to be an over and back. Referee going down to get this ball, kicks this into the corner for the Paper City Oaks to start this ball off. Cam Simpson brings this ball out in the corner, immediately attacked. And the goalie with this ball, tries sending this down, goes too high, too high. That's harder than you think. You got to practice that a little more often. Paper City Oaks with the ball. Somebody's got it. There's 2 balls out there. Now we got one. Leibowitz with it. Jacob Leibowitz. Pass this ball all the way across onto the far side. Brought back over in front, waiting for the shot, and there's that shot. And a goal. Goal scored from the left side by number 20, Jack Severese. A lot of interesting artifact coming here on the screen. Not sure what that's from. Face off. Ball bouncing back and forth. Paper City Oaks trying to pick this ball up. Little soft play off the boards. There's a hit applied by a flying toe. Jack Claw on the side. And that's going to be a Spirits ball. Lynch with it. Lynch bringing this ball up in on the right side. Short pass over to the top of the line. Backhand shot. Oh, behind the back. What a goal! That goal scored by number 99, Jack Claw. See if we catch that baby on the old instant replay. See, this ball came in over on the right side, and we're not going to have enough time for it. Sorry, that's a little too long. Off the faceoff, coming out with this ball. Lynch brings this in. Drops this off at what would be the forward line. Pass back into the middle. Joe Hall brings this ball forward. From the line, back out into the transition area. Passed over onto the far side. Short pass over. Shot low left side by Gail Thorpe. And that goes up and back. That's going to be Paper City Oaks ball. Paper City picks this up. Jonathan Howard with this ball. Brings this forward at the center line. Howard, short pass forward. Now drop pass back for Paddleford. Paddleford pops this ball back up into the corner. Paper City Oaks take this back behind the net. Now out, up on top of the line. Short pass over onto the side, in and deep alongside of the crease. Now jumping out in front and across, and everybody. I don't know if it counts if you throw the body and the ball into the crease. Survey says it does not. Spirits ball, bringing this ball out, 74, Connor Sunday. Jumping across, diving, and shooting, and scoring. Number 66, Kobe Creed with the goal. And your Thousand Island Spirits take a 3-1 lead over the Paper City Oaks. Here's the faceoff. Pushed forward by Paper City Oaks. Nice block there by the Spirits. Ball scooped up by Dallas. Thomas, a little short pass over to the wall for a transition forward. Pass back now in deep all the way across for a Hops. Or Hall, Joe Hall. Hall, center point. Winds up back behind the net. Shot and a save. And that gets gobbled up by Stephen Rafferty. Rafferty, short pass to get this to Carter Fort. Fort brings this ball up. Coming through the middle. Fort, short pass for Savarese. Savarese dances this ball over onto the side. Looking, he wants to take that shot. No shot taken. Side now across. Up high on the far side. Caden Paddleford with this ball. There's a shot and a goal. And the lead is cut in half. It's 4-2 now. Or it's cut to a half, I should say. Faceoff comes back, scooped up off the grass by Claw. Jack drops his ball off. Sunday comes in, flying in with it. Sunday shot, a goal. Goal scored by number 74, Connor Sunday. Ball goes off the back wall, scooped up by the Spirits goaltender. Ball sent across over the middle. Edward brings this forward. Horace at the shooting line. Leaning, rolling, coming in. I thought there's a shot there. Saved by Stephen Rafferty. Trying for the breakout the other way. Oh, there's a hard hit from behind as Pierce Smith gets taken out of the equation. Then play on. Spirits, long pass, other side. Breakdown, out, shot, and a hit. Let's watch that one on the old replay. Paper City trying to come down with a cherry picker. Cherry picker gets picked. Taken out of the equation. Spirits bring this ball all the way back down for the shot and the goal. Back on the other side. Here comes the Thousand Island Spirits ripping down. Lynch hits the center line. Passes this ball off. Gives this over to Nate Jobson. Nate, short pass, penetrates into the offensive zone. Jobson letting Cree handle this ball. He passed this off for Sunday. And it went in. Hey, it went in. No, bring us to another face-off. 7.5 minutes to go in this opening period. We are halfway through quarter number 1. It's like Paddleford in for the face-off, or is that Miller? Pushes this ball forward, and it's scooped up off the grass by Lynch. Jacob Lynch, short pass over near side for Dallas Thomas. Thomas passes it off, and he goes off to get his transition player on. Sunday, pass across. There's a shot. Block, saves, and hit. Oh! That one crosses the line for another TI Spirits goal. Andrew Jameson taking his face off. Ball gets plucked back by Cam Simpson. Paper City finds its way into the stick of Leibowitz. Leibowitz loses this. He goes down. Kick forward. Leibowitz picks this up for Paper City. Tries cutting over into the middle. Passes ball across for a racing in right winger. Rebound goes off the backboard. Picked up by King. King tossed back behind for Montana. Montana in over other side shot. Oh, from the back door of the left winger. It is an 8-2 lead for the Thousand Island Spirits. Miller in for the faceoff for Paper City. And we had an illegal play here outside of the faceoff. Gives this ball a possession to the Spirits. Ball passed over. Dale Thorpe with this. Sends this in. Shot, save, made, rebound. Scooped up by Paper City. Paper City hustling down with this ball. Brings this over the middle line. Tanner Makowski. Makowski, a little soft touch by whoever 24 is. There's a long pass down by the Spirits. Looking for the play. Shot is saved. It's in the crease. Scooped up by the Spirit. Back behind the net is Vecchio. Connor passes over into the corner. Spirits trying to break this out from the corner. Spinning around. Ball gets lost off the base of the board. Scooped up by Sunday. Sunday pass out on top. Bounce shot. Save. basket by Stephen Rafferty. T.I. back with this ball again from the shooting line. Sends this across. Grabbed on the side of the crease. Brought around back behind. Shot and a goal. Oh. And it's 9-2 for the Thousand Island Spirits. .5:26 to go in this first quarter. Face-off won by Hawkeye. Hawkeye brings this ball in to the left side. Drop pass, bounce across for Montana Pierce. Pierce looking, trying to find where he's going to lace this one in. Little short pass in front. Clobbered from behind. And that's going to be a penalty on number 21, Pierce Smith. And, oh, not Pierce. Excuse me. There was Jacob Leibowitz. I really thought that was Pierce that did that cross-check from behind. And on the restart, here's Gale Thorpe with the ball. Sends this ball in towards the corner. Comes back to Gale up on top. Pass over onto the near side. Back out to Gale on top. Shot misses wide left. Scooped up off the base on the left side. Shot saved made by Rafferty. Pass this ball out to Pierce Smith. Smith sends this across into the middle. Rebounds its way over for Jack Savarese. Savarese with this drops this ball back to Sampson. Sampson hits a breaking paddle fourth. Oaks shot, and that gets blocked out in front, deflected into the netting. That's going to stay Paper City Oaks ball. On the restart from the corner, they send this out to the goal line, the shooting line, back into the corner with Sampson. Sampson passes this ball over into the middle. There's a shot, save made. Oh, that camera is bugging out. Cam Sampson with this ball in along on the side of the crease. Ball comes free, scooped up off the ground by Jacob Lynch. He sends this down, and Pierce has it for Thousand Islands. Now back out at center field. Gale Thorpe with this ball, loses this off the end of the cradle, battling for it along the side. And that's going to be Paper City Oaks ball racing down with this ball. Alexander Linder. Linder coming in out in front. Can't get that shot off. Forced into the corner by the defense. There's a shot up high. Gunner save, and it goes in. It's going to be 9-3 now in favor of the Spirits. There's the faceoff for the restart. And another win by Hawkeye. He runs off. Camden Smith, a little short pass. Sunday comes in, drops this ball into the corner. From the corner out for Edwards. Orris, short pass to the left side. Back out up on top for Camden Smith. Smith shot. Save made, rebound, battle for it, out in front of the crease, dances across in front. Sunday plays this off the boards. Sunday gives this to Edwards. Edwards rolls around, and that's going to be a shot clock. Edwards drops that ball, and that gets picked up by Paper City Oaks. Jonathan Howard with this ball. Went to go penetrate in, drops back, gives this in transition. He goes off to complete the change. Oaks waiting for that final forward to get on the field. And there he is, Caden Paddleford. Paddleford comes in, passes this ball back Ball gets knocked free. Scooped back up by the Oaks, sent into the corner. Out in front, Cam Simpson loses this ball, and the Thousand Island Spirits pick this ball up, brought over onto the far side by 24. Rick in deep. And that's going to stay Spirits ball. Spirits in deep. Ball off the wall, stolen by Paper City. Paper City out at the center field, loses this ball. Keldron King knocks it free, finds its way back to Leibowitz. Leibowitz with it. Leibowitz waiting for his forwards to get on the field. Fake the pass. Now he's going to actually pass for real, in real life this time. Paddleforth with this, gets this into the corner. Ripping around from the corner. Paper City Oaks drops it to Severies. Severies into the near corner. Dancing around, trying to find a shot from the top. Shot misses wide right. Grabbed off the backboards by Thousand Island Spirits, and they are racing down. Forward shot, and that save made. Scooped up off the backboard by Gail Thorpe. Another shot, another save. Rebound grabbed by Linder. Linder races down with this ball. Linder gets attacked by two, and T.I. Spirits comes away. Short pass was almost too high for Lynch. He's able to use the full length of that stick, though. Has this ball, sends this over, rolling around to the right. Shot misses, goes onto the far side. And the body of Kobe Cree couldn't slow down enough. Took that net right off its pegs. 1 minute of play remaining here in the first quarter. Paper City Oaks looking to use up as much of this shot clock as they can. So they can get this and then maybe one more shot back. That shot misses. And that comes all the way back. That's an up and back. That'll be a Thousand Island Spirits ball. 34.9 seconds to go. 30 seconds on the shot clock. We're waiting. It has not gone into TI possession yet. From the corner, Joe Hall gets this ball out in front. Now coming from the face-off dot is Joe Hall, excuse me. Ball sent over for Sunday. Sunday passes this along the line. Fake shot. Attack. Hits Linder. Linder trying to battle back. The swim move stays with this ball. Now he takes that shot. Bounces in front of the crease. Goes into the corner. Scooped up by Joe. Joe fires this. And that is taken away by Paddleforth. Paddleforth for Paper City. Underhand shot, and that's Pierce Smith, not Paddleforth. All the way down, out in front, shot, no goal! It's a goal for the Thousand Island Spirits, as scored by number 6, 5'3", 262, Camden Smith, number 62, with goal 10. And we're just going to wait for this clock to go. And there we go. And that'll do it. After 1 quarter of play, it is the Thousand Island Spirits 10, Paper City Oaks 3. And we'll be back after this intermission. All right, and we are back. All right, I don't think our clock operator was quite ready yet. Well, I'm not exactly sure what is going on, but it is being worked on. And there we go. The scoreboard went off. Now it's back on again. Now it's all freaking out. Oh, you know what? They're having a hard time starting the clock. And they're going to try restarting. I'll be right back. I don't think I can help, though. There's a shot and a save. Sorry about that. Here come the Spirits back the other way. Ball sent in deep. Now drop back. Dallas Thomas with it. Pass this over to a breaking Poe. Jump around, and that ball is in. That's a goal! So 11-3 is the score. Here's Jameson taking the face-off for the Spirits. Little pylon shovel back and scooping this ball up is Blaze Benedict. Benedict fires this ball all the way down off of Edwards back behind the net. Orris has this ball coming around looking for the one-handed shot and takes it and scores! Orris Edwards! So beauty of a shot there by Edwards. Face off one by Jameson. Shovels this back to his feet. Passes this ball over D to D. Montana Pierce, oh, excuse me, that means Jack Claw with this ball. Breaks this up. Gives us to Thomas. Thomas penetrates in over the shooting line. Thomas rolls around out in front. Quick shot. Kick save by Stephen Rafferty. Ball pass across. From the line. Shot. No goal. Oh. Hawkeye Hamilton taking the face-off for the Spirits. Hawkeye ready. Push this ball over near side. Scoops it up off the boards. Jacob Lynch brings this all the way down. Pass back out in the middle. Shot, bounce shot. Save made by Raftery. Blue comes up. Picked up high by Chris Crozier. He brings this all the way down for the Paper City Oaks. Pass across. Misses his right winger. Andrew Nolan picked that back up, and he went back and over, but he got rid of that ball before he went back over that center line. Ball in it deep, and that's going to be a turnover, and it'll be a Spirit ball. Advancing forward with this ball for the Spirits, Montana Pierce. Pierce gives this back to King. King looking, sends this across, threads the needle. Who is that? Is that Joe Hall? Losing this ball, coming back the other way. Here's a shot. A gunner. Paper City able to collect up on that rebound. Pass this ball back out up high. Cam Simpson with it from the corner now. Looking for somebody to pass to. He's being guarded by Jamison. Up in the middle, center point. Pass in deep. Now flicked over in front. Top of the crease. Gets lost. Recovered, though, by Ryland Paddleford. Paddleford drifts over, rips it, and that one trickles in. It's a goal. Scored by number 11, Ryland Paddleford. And the Paper City Oaks now trail by 9 here in the second quarter. Face off, and that one is some sort of an infraction. And it's going to be a Paper City Oaks ball. Paper City Oaks from the corner. Looking, sends this out to the point. Pass across into the deep corner. Now back out up high. Taken away by the TI Spirits. Here comes Thousand Island. Short pass over. Shot. And a kick save made by Raftery. Turn over, trying to be held in, scooped up by the defense of the Paper City Oaks. Ball gets passed out in transition to Caden Paddleford. Paddleford drops this back out to the point. Paper City Oaks not going to be able to hold it. That went up and back. That's going to be a TI ball. Grabbed by Jamison at the center line. Jamison penetrates in and shoots, misses low on the right side. Ball comes up high, fired back in, and it gets knocked in. And that's a goal! Scored by the mystery number 24. So one of the great things about YouTube is if you subscribe to the Thousand Island Spirits YouTube channel, you can participate in the chat, and I will chat back. Paper City Oaks with the ball. Point to point, up high, back over onto the near side for Paddleford. Paddleford going in, shot, save made by Gunner. Pass out to Lynch. Lynch breaks over the center line. Lynch moving in over the shooting line. Pass over to the right side. Gets missed, scooped up, recovered. Thousand Island trying to find a way to pass this ball in deep, and they've got it back behind the crease. Now it's sent out up high. Backhand shot, save made, and that is scooped off the earth by number 6, Jonathan Howard. Howard comes around behind the net, passes this ball over up for Linder. Linder breaks into the offensive end, passes this ball over onto the far side, and he's going to cut over into the bench and get some fresh legs out there for himself. Paper City Oaks, short pass over right side to Ryland paddle forward. Ryland pass, that goes high to Townsend, shoots, misses, and that rebound goes up and back, and it was a miss anyway, so that was a shot clock violation. It's going to be Thousand Island ball, and they're going to start with it all the way in the corner of the Paper City Oaks end of the arena. From the... Oh. I got fooled on where that ball was. I thought Poe had it. So Rafferty sends this out, and that is fired in for a goal. So 14-5. Hawkeye in for the face-off against Linder. Nope, not Linder. Miller, excuse me. Hawkeye guarding it. Scoops that ball up from a knee. Passes over for Lynch. Lynch misses, chases that ball down, gets it before Miller does. There's a backhand pass. Overhand shot, save made by Rafferty. Rebound scooped up by Thousand Islands, and with this ball is Jack Claw. Jack passed it out to the center point. Fired in deep, top of the crease. Lynch shot and a goal scored by number 66, Kobe Cree. See if I get this shot here by Cree or if I waited too long. Right there is the shot and the goal. I get some wicked stuff. Here's the faceoff. Jameson in there battling against Nathan Miller. Ball pops up high, grabbed out of the air by Benedict. Benedict goes in and stops short of the shooting line. Passes this ball over to Pierce. Thousand Island Spirit shot, a shoulder save. Goes off the official, and Paper City Oaks able to get this out. Pass all the way down the length to Savarese. Savarese passes ball over, now up high to Linder. Linder, shot, save made. Rebound goes into the corner. Played off the corner by Cam Simpson. Simpson passes over in transition to Jacob Leibowitz. That ball gets covered up by Gunner. Thousand Island trying to add to their 10-goal lead. Here's Claw coming down on the left-hand side. Jumps out in front. Dive, slide, shot, save made, and that rebound goes off the netting. Grabbed by Paper City Oaks. Here's Paper City moving with this ball down on the right side. Zachary Robolewski. Robolewski trying to use his shoulder to break by Keldron King and just can't do it. So he's going to pass this ball off and let somebody else try. Here's Ryland Paddleford. Short pass to what must be Lamprin, Devin Lamprin. Ryland shot low, and Gunner goes down, makes the save with the body. Ball gets passed out high, out in front for King. King shot, goal! And it's an 11-goal lead for the Thousand Island Spirits. Loose ball gets swatted at by Hawkeye. Gets it back to his D. DDD pass. Lynch now grabs this and hands this off to Joe Hall. Joe Hall wearing the number 13 gives this ball to Oris Edwards. Edwards loses it, comes up high. Shot fired on a low right-handed shot by Camden Smith. Save made. Caught in the knee, the leg pad of Stephen Rafferty. Comes Linder for the Paper City Oaks. Top of the crease, sends this ball into the corner. From the corner, Paper City trying to set something up. Dancing around, pick is set, shot, and a goal. That was all set up by the pick made by Jacob Leibowitz over on the far side. Now, what would be the face-off circle if this were a hockey game? But it's not. So if you happen to be nearby Alexandria Bay, you want to hustle on over here to the town of Alexandria Civic Center. Get in here and watch this game live. I'm doing the best I can, and I do not do box lacrosse any justice. Live streaming. The action is here in a person. There's Nate Jobson. Pass this ball over to the right side. Nate making a break in towards goal. Shot made. And it was saved. Ball picked up by Rafferty. Short pass out to Carter Fort. Fort hustling down over the center line. Gives this ball into the corner. Ryland paddle forth with it. Pass this ball over to Lamprin. Lamprin comes up high. Top of the crease. Short pass is turned over. Oh, it's knocked out of the basket. And Dallas Thomas comes back. Ryland paddle forth with it. Levin diving, jumping, shooting. Save made by Kenneth Thompson. Gunner. From the corner, Pierce with the pick. Gets that ball. Shot, no goal. Fontana here. Returns the Thousand Island Spirits lead to 11. 4:46 to go in this first half. Hawkeye Hamilton in for the faceoff. Nathan Miller down for Paper City. Hawkeye drives this ball forward, puts a hard shoulder into Pierce Smith. Smith able to get that ball, loses it. Now it's grabbed Paper City. And Leibowitz able to stay on sides. Sends this ball in deep, and Paper City has it in the corner. Pass out in front, shot, save. Gunner loose at the center point. Andrew Nolan grabs this ball, pops it into the corner. Scooped up off the ground by Caden Paddleford. Paper City trying to set something up on the far side. Rips a low shot, misses wide right. Grabbed by Ryland Paddleford. Ryland hitting the back by King. Passes this ball off, sends this across. Gets lost momentarily by Caden. Caden Paddleford sends this up high. Shot, save made. Rebound grab by Hawkeye Hamilton. And here comes the Thousand Island Spirits setting it up. Ball pass back to King. King sends this out in the middle to Oris Edwards. Edwards loses this ball. That gets lifted up and hits the ceiling. That'll be a turnover, and Paper City will go on the offensive. Pass sent across off the glass. Alexander Linder immediately attacked by Benedict. Linder still with this ball, goes to the center point, passes this ball over to Savarese, and he goes off for a change. Ball comes up high, center point for Caden Paddleford, shot, and a goal. 17-7. Thousand Island Spirits lead is cut to 10. All right, 3:15 to go in the half. Here's the face-off. Hawkeye driving, trying to cover this ball up. Nathan Miller trying to pry it out. And it comes out of Hawkeye like an egg. It's going to be Paper City's ball. Chris Crozier with it. Crozier, short pass over for Caden Paddleforth. He goes off for his change. Paddleforth with the ball. Pass over to Ryland, which is probably his brother. Ryland drops it back. Caden in a shot. Save made. Rebound grab by T.I. Coming out with this ball, Dante David. He sends it in, shot, and a goal scored by Gale Thor. Hey, Rick Imus, Toronto. I'm closer to you than I am to my wife right now. No, I'm kidding you. Here in Toronto. Although she's from Buffalo. Jamison battling, not able to win that face-off, or does he? Nope, Paper City ball. Paper City coming with this ball. Jonathan Howard passes over. It goes into the corner. From the corner back out on top for Linder's shot. Save made by Gunner. Rebound in deep. Linder with it, battling for that ball back behind the goal, and that is picked up by Dante David. David sends this all the way down the length of the arena. There's a hard shot. It goes off the backboard and hits the back of the net. T.I. with it, and I don't know. It's a turnover. It's going to be a Paper City ball. Here come the Oaks. There's a hard stick check by King on Jonathan Howard. Howard able to give this ball to Paddleford. Comes back to Paddleford. Caden Paddleford. Caden in, shot, and a goal. Threaded that needle. And it finds its way behind Gunner. .146 to go in the first half. Thousand Island Spirits with an 18-8 lead. Hawkeye Hamilton in for another face-off against Nathan Miller. Paper City. Chris Crozier with this ball. Dodges his way around his defender. Ryland Paddleford in with this ball. Gets that shot off and scores a goal. And the Paper City Oaks are within 9 goals now, with 1:35 to go in the first half. Miller and Hawkeye again. Hawkeye pulls this ball back for Lynch. Jacob brings this up over the center line. Gets hit into the boards, loses the ball. Loose ball picked up by T.I. There's Kobe Cree. Pass this over to John Jacobs. Jacobs brings this in over the shooting line. Shot from the left side. Pilgrim King with a goal. Another face-off. Jamison this time against Miller. Ball comes back and scooped up by Poe. That ball turned over on the shot. Hustling down is Linder. Linder gets attacked. Ball is loose. Taken away by Blaze Benedict. Benedict fires this over. It gets lost in the transition over the center line. And this ball finds its way back to Linder. Linder sends this into the corner. There's a diving shot. And A save. Here come the Spirits with the ball. Jack Claw. Gives this to Nate Jobson. Jobson calls timeout. Timeout for the Thousand Island Spirits. And there is 16 seconds left on the shot clock and 28.4 seconds to go on the game clock. Well, the Thousand Island Spirits have pulled the goalie for fun. There's a shot and a save that resets the shot clock. So really no more shot clock in essence for this half. Thousand Island with this ball sends this over onto the right side. Forrest Edwards battling for this ball in the corner. Ball is loose, scooped up by Luke Townsend. And here comes the Paper City Oaks with an empty net, and they're not able to get a shot off, and that'll do it. After one half of play, it is the Thousand Island Spirits 19 and the Paper City Oaks 9. This game has been all Thousand Island Spirits. They have dominated both sides of the ball, coming up with some spectacular shots, some really creative gameplay, and as well as good quality shots and strong defense. So after one half, it is the Thousand Island Spirits 19 and the Paper City Oaks 9. All right, we'll be back. All right, lacrosse fans, it's time to get the second half started. It's the beginning of quarter number 3. Your Thousand Island Spirits lead the Paper City Oaks 19-10. Now let's put your hands together, stop your feet, and make some noise. Let's go, Spirit! All right. Here, it's lacrosse ball time. That ball flung forward by Hawkeye. Scooped up by Lynch. Lynch directing traffic, telling Hawkeye, get off, it's not your turn. Get somebody else on here. And he drops this ball forward to the forward and goes off himself. Kobe Cree moves in, diving, shooting. New goalie second half for the Paper City Oaks, number 31, Cameron Pylon. Well, not exactly sure what that infraction was against the Thousand Island Spirit. They got a player in the penalty box, and they are shorthanded. Here's the Paper City Oaks on a power play. Ball comes back to Savary. Savary sends us up to the center point for Paddleford. Caden sends this in deep. Now back behind the goal. Behind the crease. Out in front for Caden. Low shot. That gets deflected over. Still in control. Paper City. Ball knocked loose. That goes up. Hits the netting. And the referee's trying to figure out. They're going to have to figure out who knocked that ball into the netting. Let's see what our referees say. You know what? This is what's terrible. And that's going to be a Paper City ball. So Caden Paddleford grabs this ball, sends this up left side for Savary. Savary sends this into the corner, comes back to Jack. Out to Caden, up at the center point. Caden comes in looking to rip that ball low. Sends this into the corner, comes back for Caden. Caden shot. No, he passes in back behind the goal. This dribbles out in front, and that gets turned over. And here comes your Spirits with this ball. Shot, save made by Cameron Pylon. Jameson sends this ball into the corner for John Jacobs. Shot rebounds out at the shooting line. Shot, save made by Pylon. Ball gets knocked loose back in the crease behind. That gets picked up by Alexander Linder. Linder passes this ball forward for number 8, Carter Fort. Fort drops this back to the center point as Cam Simpson comes on. Simpson gives this ball to Savary. Savary sets up at the corner, hands this to Caden up at the center point. Caden puts this in on the right side. Ball gets passed over to Pierce Smith. Shot, save made. Spirit tussling out with this ball. Montana Pierce. Pierce spinning around, evades his defender, takes that shot, save made by Pylon. Ball rolls behind the goal, picked up by Paper City. Pass out to Savarese. Jack Savarese brings this into the offensive end, crosses over the offensive zone line, sends this back out to middle to Caden Paddleford. There's a shot and a goal for Paper City. Face off one by Paper City Oaks. Nathan Miller moves in, puts his ball into the corner. It goes off for his transition. Ball passed out in the middle for Cam Simpson. Simpson drifting over to his left, holding that ball low. Now he spins around as a bounce move roll off of Jack Claw. Ball passed off. A shot, rebound comes out high for Savarese. Savarese takes that shot. Save made, and this will be the Spirits' ball. Spirits drop pass this ball over for Edwards. Orris comes in, a short pass over for Sunday. Can't get that on net. Trickles its way into the corner, or maybe it did go off net. Edwards trying to move past the Sunday. Sunday couldn't get that shot off. Gets knocked out of his basket. Oh, nice! Great move by Kobe Cree, opening that can of tuna on the Paper City Oaks. Hall in with the ball, sends this back for Thorpe. Thorpe couldn't keep it. Spears trying to set something up and get a play going here. Getting the ball over to Thorpe. Thorpe loses his footing. Still has his ball. Sends it in the general direction of the goal. Pelgrin King trying to pick it up in time. Can't get it. And we're going to have a fight over on the side there. King's wrapping it up. Takes out Luke Townsend. They go down to the ground. And the officials come over and try to separate these two boys. Not Luke Townsend. Pierce Smith, number 21. I only saw the two. My apologies. Gonna go see if there's something I'm supposed to know about this. So we've got incidental minor penalties for fighting. Who knew? Oh, and we got another fight. So I didn't see what happened there. Let's see what's happening in the corner. What the referees are breaking up. There is a trainer out there though, tending to a Spirits player. I think it might be Benedict, 23. We'll take a look and see what the officials are talking about. Maybe they'll let us know. And our Thousand Island Spirits player has risen. And it was Blaze Benedict being escorted over to the side by Nate Jobson. Benedict's looking okay. All right, so it's going to be Thousand Island ball on the restart. Gail Thorpe starts it off. Back to him. He gives this over to Hall. Hall into the corner. Thorpe, center point, winds up, puts this in deep, and that gets stolen by number 23, Zachary Wobolewski. Here's Wobolewski. Pass into the middle for a breaking Andrew Nolan. Paper City Oaks has done a good job of forcing turnovers. They just can't always seem to finish. Kobe Crean with this ball. Pass behind. Oh, you had me faked out on the shot, and that one gets followed up. And the save made. Carter Fort coming out with this ball. Fort, shot, sink. Gunner coming up. Ew. Toby Cree back with the ball on the other side. Pass back out to 66 at the center point position. Sends this in alongside of the crease. Pass out into the middle is missed, and that's going to be an up and back. That'll be a Paper City ball. And the Spirits are just going to have to let that one sit. Ryland paddleboard with this ball, comes in and drops it back for Linder. Alexander Linder runs this ball into the corner. He breaks into back behind the key. Loses this ball, and Spirits take possession. Spirits out with this ball. Moving in on the near side, Dante David. David back to Lynch. Lynch with this ball, pass over into the middle, and Hall has it. Joe Hall winds up, shot, save. Up and back is the ball. That's going to be a Paper City ball. Paper City Oaks on the restart, brings this ball back behind the goal. Passed out in front, trying to force his way in. Cam Simpson. Simpson taking out. Ball goes down, rolls into the corner, scooped up by Blaze Benedict. Benedict gets this ball up to Day. Dalston's Day. No, not Day. What am I talking about? That's Jack Claw. They turn this ball over. Alexander Linder bringing this ball back. Linder gets stopped as he breaks over the center line. Still has the ball, though. Passes it off, and that ball gets sent in just a touch deeper. Jack Savarese with this ball for the Paper City Oaks. Savarese up in front, up on top of the key. Shot, save made. Rebound collected by John Jacob. Jacob passes this ball up to Lynch. Lynch brings this into the offensive end. Drops this ball off for Oris Edwards, and Lynch goes off for his change. Edwards in on the side of the goal. Pass this ball over to the far corner. From the corner, back out center point. Joe Hall to his left, back to Joe. Joe from the top of the key, shot, save made. Paper City Oaks bringing this ball out with Carter Fort. He passes it off and goes off for his chain. A little cycle at the top there to Cam Simpson's. Simpson brings this all the way into the corner. Simpson has that ball knocked free, still battling for it, trying to get it back. He throws Hawkeye over the back of Dante David to get possession of the ball, and he gets called for it. So it's turned over, and here come the Spirit. Sunday with this ball, moves in onto the right side, sends this back out to the center point position. Ball being danced with on the left side, picked up by Kobe Cree. Kobe Cree fakes a shot, passes off. There's a shot, and there's a save. That'll restart the shot clock. Cree in, nudges this ball forward, and that gets picked up by the Spirits. Cree from the center point, back to him. Oh, loses it, picks his ball back up off the bounce. Went to go make a pass, shot, save made by Cameron Pylon. Kobe Cree in, step closer. The one-timer missed by Dale Thorpe. That ball gets turned over. Here come the Paper City Oaks. Luke Townsend rips this forward. There's a shot. Save made by Gunner. Loose ball picked up by Sunday. Sunday from the back of his crease. Passes this ball up for Dallas Thomas. Thomas brings this into the offensive end. Paper City Oaks trying to drive this ball in. Backhand shot gets deflected. Goes into the netting. Here come the Spirits. Short pass out. Montana Pierce with it on the near side. Pierce passes over into the middle for Camden Smith. Smith bounces off the ground to his left winger. Coming around. Shot. Save made. And they allow Pylon to scoop that ball up. Less than 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Leibowitz with this ball dancing, trying to make a move. Can't get around. Pass this ball in, and now he breaks in. Savarese with this. Pass this ball across the zone. All the way back out into this midi area. Picked up by Paddleforth. Caden with it. Rips a shot. Save made by the big basket of Gunner. Paper City Oaks regain possession at the center line. Paddleforth fires this in. That's Ryland Paddleforth. Save made by Gunner. Oh, man, we got a fight going on in the corner. We got a helmet coming off. Gloves coming off. Helmets and gloves are off. Trying to see who that is. It is Jacob Leibowitz for the Paper City Oaks. Battling against, I think it's Kobe Cree. I can't quite see. I can't make it out on my screen here, the monitor. Oh, it's Travis Thompson. Oh. All right, fans, this is a great opportunity for me to announce the kids draw. I don't think we can hear me. I can't hear me either. Here I am. Let's have our blue tickets kids draw. So all you kids, get those blue tickets out. The winning ticket number is 2225 353. The last three numbers are 353. 222 5353. Take your winning ticket up to the front table for a prize. All right, so this is going to be the Paper City Oaks ball on the restart. You got it? Yeah. So take both of them and go up to the front table and get your prize. All right, Devin Lamprin's going to start with this ball for Paper City. And he moves forward, passes it up to Savarese. Savarese sends this into the corner. From the corner, back to Savarese. Back up to Lamprin. Lamprin onto the right side. Gave it to Ryland paddle forward. Ryland paddle forward. Oh, loses his ball. Now he gets it. Now he saw his light flash before his eyes there. There's a shot and a goal by Jack Savarese. Paper City Oaks goal scored by number 20, Jack Savarese. Battle for this ball at center field. Won by the Spirit. Keldrin King moving in with this ball. Shot and a save made. A rebound goes up into the netting. Paper City ball. Linder brings this over the center line. Passes it off for Nolan. I almost lose it. Brought in Cam Simpson trying to keep possession. Not able to, and this goes to King. Keldrin King with this ball now for the Spirits. There's a fake pass. Now it's pass for real to Gale Thorpe. Or pass of Croc goes into the corner. T.I. with this ball in the corner. Come around back behind the goal, and the shot clock expires. They'll turn that ball over to Paper City. Linder with the restart for the Paper City Oaks. Passes this ball across the middle to Caden Paddleford. Paddleford's got some new equipment on. Caden passes the ball over to the left side. Comes back to Caden at the center point position. Shot goes wide left. Battle for it, back behind the goal, picked up by the Spirits. They send this breakout pass all the way down for Keldrin King. King moves in onto his right side, shot, save made by Cameron Pylon. And the officials have to step in. All right, once these penalties are assessed, this is 4-on-3 lag. Face off won by the Spirits. Thomas with this. Passes over far left side. Camden Smith. Smith fake high, goes in deep, goes to the corner. Now he works his way back out. Less than a minute to go in this third quarter, and he loses that ball to Linder. Alexander Linder picking up speed over the center line. Linder comes in, shot, save made, Gunner! Shot from the point, save made, Cameron Pylon. Paper City Oaks moving out with this ball. Carter Ford passes across to Caden Paddleford. Paddleford goes all the way into the corner, waits for his team to come out on the floor. Pass into the middle. Cam Simpson misses it, and T.I. brings this back, and we've got a whistle. Man, we've got a hold against the Spirits. Devin Lampron going to grab the ball for the restart for Paper City. So 4-on-3. Still, shot, save made. Comes up to Caden Pappelbord. Out top, shot fired by Savarese. Another save by Gunner. This ball gets cleared, and that'll do it. All right, that concludes. Fourth and final quarter underway. Paper City Oaks moving into the offensive end. Ball gets passed back. Battle for it. Oh, backhand pass, behind the back pass. One-timer shot taken by Lampron. Misses. Hits the netting. This will be a Spirit ball. Move it up with this ball. Jack Claw. A little bit of a high pass there. Maybe he just likes to see Camden Smith jump. Smith backhand behind the back pass. Shot. Save made. Rebound goes over on far side. Grab by Thousand Island. Smith with it. Rolls around to his left. Shot. Another save by Pylon. Oh, there's a takedown. There's a shot. Save made. Rebound comes out. Moving down. Carter Fort with this ball. Loses that pass. Regains possession off the wall. Carter drifting back, looking to figure out where he's going to send this ball to before he goes off for his change. And he passes it over to Ryland Paddleford. Ryland drops this back to Caden. Caden back to Ryland. Ryland shot. Save made. Spirit, long pass, and that is no pass. It's an offside. I guess you're not allowed to go in front of that white line to catch a pass. Is that true? Is that a thing? Here comes the Paper City Oaks with this ball. Luke Townsend was going to bring it over. Now they're going to start off from the top. All right, officials timeout because he doesn't know what's going on. All right, boys. Thoughts or shooting? Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, it's a train. Yeah, so what's his purpose? So like after face off, yeah, you can sleep back there before. It's just I'm getting so much. Now over here, we just look at the because that ball got passed down. I don't remember. It was still like on thing. So it probably it did blow it back in. This thing, this institution. If all this waiting around makes you hungry, don't forget to get some pizza at the snack bar. Pepperoni, cheese, pizza, and nachos. Whose cheese? That's nacho cheese. Get some. Get some now. And then like right. So I am not privy to the conversation that's happening on the other side of the field. They're not telling me anything. Well, whatever they're not telling me, it looks like they figured it out. Well, whatever's going on, the officials seem to think they have it figured out. Starting this ball off for Paper City is Kalen Paddleford. Gives it to Ryland, back to Caden, back to Ryland. Ryland sends this back behind the key. Now it's over on the far side. Now back behind the goal. 12 seconds ago on the shot clock. Back up high. Caden sends it on the side of one. Timer by Tam Simpson is missed. That ball gets turned over to the Thousand Island Spirits. Ball sent all the way down. Shot taken or attempted by Keldrin King. Nothing doing. This goes back the other way. And here's the shot by Caden Paddleford. And ninth save by Gunner. Ball gets sent all the way down. Missed pass. Ends up in the corner. Scooped up off the ground by Oris Edwards. I think it's Oris. Oh, it is not Oris. That was a hard shot taken by Poe. Poe again rears back. Able to pull the trigger. Back behind the head. Across. Shot and a goal. That was a pretty one. Let's see if I'm able to play it back for you. Ball's in deep. Thousand Island is trying to set this up. Backhand, I thought was going to be a shot. Was a pass. Comes across and then diving across with that shot. Kobe Creed. Thousand Island Spirits goal scored by number 66, Kobe Creed. This face-off won by Thousand Islands. David has this ball. Dante, short pass across for Nate Jobson. Jobson, bounce pass over to Smith. Smith sends this into the corner. Sunday, back out to Smith. Shot, goal! Thousand Island Spirits goal scored by number 62, Camden Smith. Assisted by number 74, Connor Sunday. 62 from 74. Here's the face-off, and that face-off is won by Hawkeye. Lynch with this ball moves in on the left side, comes back out. No, I don't know why, but Paper City ball on the restart. Here come the Oaks. Moving in on the right side, Devin Lampin. Lampin sends this into the corner. It drifts back and goes back behind the goal. Paper City with it. There's a shot. Save and made. Loose ball, and that gets grabbed by Nate Jobson, it looks like. Is that true? I don't think Nate played defense. No, that's not Nate. Paper City shot Caden, and that is a block by Montana Pierce. Ball goes into the corner. There's shuffle pass. Paper City setting it back up. Center point. Near side, Caden passes. Ball over for Jack Savarese. Savarese coughed it up. Here comes the other Paddleford. He misses. Shot taken. Ryland Paddleford. Save and made. Thousand Islands coming out with this ball. Andrew Jameson takes this into the corner. Jameson brings this back out past the restraining line. Passes over into the middle for Hall. Hall sends us a high pass. Picked up by Kobe Creed. There's a shot. Save made. A rebound goes up and hits the netting. So it'll be a Paper City Oaks ball for the restart. Paper City pass gets missed, taken by Keldrin King. Picked this up off the boards. King sends this in deep. to Camden Smith. And restarts handed to Ryland Paddleford. Paddleford comes in with this ball. Paddleford hits the restraining line, drifts it back. Paddleford back up to the line. Cuts over into the middle center point, drops this into the corner. Out in front, one-timer, shot and a goal by Jack Savarese. Paper City Oaks goal scored by number 20, Jack Savarese. And it is now 21-13. Faceoff gets pushed forward by Jameson, but picked up by Paper City Oaks. Paper City looking for an opening. Cam Simpson gives this ball away. It's pass across, goes off the stick of Devin Lamperin and picked up by Gunner. Gunner hands this off to John Jacobs. Jacobs comes around with this ball, passes it to Lynch on the near side. Here's Lynch at the center line. He gets whacked by Paddleford. Now he passes this ball over to Jobson. Nate Jobson with this ball at the restrained lane. Pass this in, shot, and a goal. Thousand Island Spirits goal scored by number 71, Gail Thorpe. Assisted by number 11, Nate Jobson. There's the face-off, and that is controlled by Hamilton Hawk almost. And now it's picked up by David. Dante brings this ball over the center line, passes it across for 24. Sunday with this. Sunday gives this over to Poe. Sunday shot, save made. Nice stop by Cameron Pylon. Poe's in deep, being a pest. Low bouncing ball, passed up by the Paper City Oaks. Cam Simpson hits the restraining line, loses the ball, and that is scooped up. Scooped up by Montana Pierce. Pierce, it gives this off to Jameson. Jameson, short pass to Thorpe. Or Dallas Thomas. Fancy stick work by Joe Hall. So face-off one by Thousand Island sends this ball in deep. Backs top of the key. Free shot, save made. Rebound goes into the corner, picked up by Thousand Islands. Thousand Islands sends this across. Near side shot is saved. Paper City Oaks picks this up off the rebound. Hustling in with it, Pierce Smith. Pierce Smith with this ball. Forced back over as he goes down to the turf. Able to get a pass off to Jacob Leibowitz. Leibowitz sends this in deep. There's a shot. Save made. Paper City follow-up shot. Another save. This rebound grab by Thousand Island. A breakout pass. It finally makes its way over to Dallas Thomas. Thomas sends this in. Shot taken by Jameson. Save made by Pylon. Paper City out with this ball. That shot wide left. Goes into the corner, picked up by Paper City. Paper City cycles this to Leibowitz. Leibowitz cycling this in the transition area. Sends this ball in to pass the restraining line. And that ball gets picked off. Here comes Thousand Islands, and a shot misses wide left. Picked up Paper City, rips this back the other way. Ryland Peterford not able to catch that pass. Jameson going in, battling for it in the corner. Thousand Islands able to come out with this ball. Thousand Islands bounce pass up to King. King with it in the transition area. 5.5 minutes to go. 10 goals separate these two teams. Here's Nate Jobson with the shot. Save made. Another shot high, another save. Rebound picked up on the side. And that's going to be a Thousand Islands restart. Keldron King with the ball. King at the restraining line, trying to make some space. Pass this ball over, shot fired, misses. Comes all the way back out to the restraining line. Picked up by Keldron King in the transition area. Keldron making a move in, shot low, save made. And Pylon sits on the ball. Gets up for Paper City to bring this ball out. Here comes Chris Crozier with the ball for Paper City Oaks. Crozier passes this back, and that is just held in by Devin Lamprin. He thought he was going to lose that ball. Lamprin with it. Lamprin making a move towards the goal. Passes back behind the net. Sent out in front. Turning and shooting. Nope, back out on top. Lamprin shot. Save made. Gunner doesn't know where it is. Went into the corner. Picked up. Paper City has it. Just over 4 minutes remain. Diving out in front. Trying to take a shot. Jack Savarese. Nothing doing. Ball is saved. Net came off. That's going to stay Paper City ball. Ball's in the far corner. Comes out high for Nolan. Andrew moves this over to the right for Lamprin. Lamprin tried passing this. It gets deflected. Comes back. Caught the netting. They're saying it went off of a TI ball, though. A stick, though. And it's Paper City ball. Paper City in. Shot. Save. Stays Paper City. Paper City from behind the key. Short pass up to Lamprin. Lamprin on the near side. Pass it into the middle. Caden Paddleford in shot. Save made. Ball goes behind. That gets grabbed by Gunner. Well, he loses it. Paper City shot. Save. Gunner. Loose ball up by the center line. Paper City able to grab it. Jack Savarese spins around. Has this ball. Cradles it. Shot. One-timer save. Rebound. Picked up by Dante David of TI. Dante David sends this all the way down. Makes this to the goalie. Pylon passes it up for Caden Paddleford. Paddleford in. Shot wide left. Or not wide. It was a save. It went off of Gunner. Battle for this ball in the corner. Paper City with it. Shot. Another save by Gunner. This rebound grabbed by Thousand Island. They're trying to get fancy. Jack Claw with this ball. Brings this up over the restraining line. Claw in. A shot. Save. A rebound. It stays TI ball. Connor Sunday with it. Sunday moves this over to the right side. Gives this to Poe. Poe passes it off. Sunday with it. Shot. Save made. Rebound goes to the corner. Sunday after it. Sunday scoops this up in the corner. Looking to set something up. Sends this out to the restraining line. That gets fired in. That goes off the boards. And they're saying it hit the netting, so it's going to be a Paper City ball. Poe didn't like that. Ball gets brought up by Leibowitz. Leibowitz sends this into the corner. the corner to Simpson, and he turns this ball over. Here's a shot, save made by Pylon. Rebound grab by Thousand Islands in the corner. It's Jacob Lynch. He loses this ball. Comes back. Paper City picks this up. Here comes Nathan Miller. Miller in. Shot. Save made by Gunner. Rebound comes out high. Shot. Another save. Rebound. Jack Savarese trying to pick this up. Savarese from the corner sends this up to the restraining line. Now it gets passed over to Rylan Paddleford. Rylan back to Caden Paddleford. Caden sends us into the corner. Gets passed, and it goes in. Oh, that one. It caught Gunner by surprise, and it caught me by surprise. But it is still a 23-14 lead. It's a 9-goal differential with 1 minute and 16 seconds to go in this game. Hawkeye in for the face-off against Nathan Miller. Ball comes loose. Hawkeye trying to grab it, and does. He goes down, comes up, still has that ball, cradles it. Here goes Hawkeye in, pass that ball off, shot taken. Connor Sunday, save made by Pylon. Rebound scooped up by Pierce Smith. Smith gets checked into the boards. Got less than a minute to go. Pylon, the pass out to Luke Townsend at the center line. Townsend moves in, puts his ball into the corner for Lampron. Not Lampron, Linder. No, this ball gets turned over. Here come the Spirits. Dallas. A little short no pass. Now he turns and gives this to Nate. Less than 20 seconds to go. Nate Jobson with the ball. Nate moves in. 10 seconds to go. Not able to get a shot off. That's a shot clock violation. And with 5 seconds to go, it's a Paper City ball. But they get it, and that's it. And that'll do it. That's the game. And that concludes another exciting game of National or North American Box Lacrosse here at the town of Alexandria Civic Center. This one ends as a TI victory. This game, yes, let's hold the Thousand Islands Spirit. Your Spirits win this one. We would like to thank everyone for coming out here today. Please remember to pick up your immediate area, including cell phones, chargers, trash, and small children. Please take them home with you. Get home safely, everyone. I am the Dan Dallin, a positive influence. Next game in a few weeks. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, all the socials at Thousand Islands Spirit. And remember, don't wait for it to be a good day. Make it a great day, everyone. All right, that'll do it for us here at the town of Alexandria Civic Center. This one ends in a victory for the Thousand Islands Spirits. They're working their way, looking forward to another championship battle at the end of this season. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I am the Dan Dallin, a positive influence, reminding you, don't wait for it to be a good day. Make it a great day, everyone.